What's up, guys? Welcome back to Viewer Castles. Today we're going to start off with xioz. Castle level is a 32, so I'll be jumping into it on my archer. And let's see what he's got. I think I ran his a couple weeks ago, possibly. The name sounds familiar. Alright, so we have a Jimbo. Looks like he might be on either Griefer specialization, the one that resurrects him, or on the personal bubble. I'm not sure yet. Alright, it is personal bubble. I can't really tell the difference between the two because you don't really see them all that often. Well, mainly you don't see Griefer all that often at level 30. Not many people use it. Alright, so that wasn't too hard for me to deal with, although Jimbos can do quite a bit of damage now, even on that specialization, so you do have to be a little bit cautious. Alright, so there's a Explodifier here, which basically makes me think that there might be a Dr. Skull pull coming up. So I'm gonna be happy about pulling it back one room. One thing that I am gonna note is that there's no trap in this first room, so I need to see. I think the first trap is right around this corner, if I remember. I wasn't really paying attention, but I think it's a ballista trap. Is that correct? No, it's a some sort of a mine. I don't remember which one it was. It might have been fire mines, but that's fine. There's just a lot less pressure at those first two groups than is in normal castles that I face. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. There's not, like, I'm not sure how hard I need to even go on defenses at this point because the entire game's going to change in a couple of days. So we're just kind of going to go through some castles over the next couple of days, viewer castles. I'm going to try to record everybody so you guys can at least see me playing it, get a feel for, you know, things, and I'll still make some comments on this system itself, but when the new system comes out, it's going to change literally everything, so. Like, everything. Nothing that you've known before is going to apply anymore. It's going to be a completely new system. Pulling through the walls is going to be either impossible or extremely hard. Wow, did that thing just crit me for 800 damage? Is that what I just saw? Maybe it was 80. I don't know, but that would be insane if that puppeteer skeleton crit me for 800. That can't be. I just saw the 8 and the 0, and I, you know, took a ton of damage, so, or enough to at least make the heartbeat start. But yeah, like I said, the entire game's going to change, so I'm basically just putting out some viewer castles because I know you guys want me to run your castles, and I'm not taking any more requests. Oh man, this is going to be bad. I might die here. Let's see if I can survive it. I think I'll be okay. If I can ever kill this thing. Oh god, and they're all on Resurrect too. This is getting out of hand. I'm okay still though. I need to get my mana up so I can use volley on that big group of mobs. And then keep pulling back, and now I should be okay. I got some space in between me and the IMAX. Alright, cool. That was a little dangerous though. That long pull on the IMAX really threw me because I wasn't expecting there to be a pull. I thought it was a fake because I waited around for a second. It didn't look like anything was coming, and I just didn't actually expect that. It was good. That was a good one as well. Good use of like blocking vision based on where you thought my camera would be. I tend to do that a lot actually. I notice in my replays when I try to do this, I should actually focus on this part because I might get, you know, die. I just have to kill off that Dr. Skull. But anyway, I've noticed in my replays when I'm watching them that people rotate their cameras a lot more than I do when I'm attacking. I tend to only rotate it once my camera is completely in the wrong way, where people a lot of the times will use their camera a little bit better, so I need to get better about doing that. Use another potion. These last two rooms have made me take a lot of damage. More than I necessarily want to take. But yeah, I have a feeling that when we get, when the free creation mode comes out, to throw out a few ideas is I'm thinking that traps are going to be more powerful than creatures. They already kind of are, but since you can place them close together, and I think that the aggro of the new system will be weaker than this one by quite a bit. I think the fact that you can't pull through walls anymore, and that like it's not all grouped together, only the first thing that sees it aggroes the group. The aggro circle seems to be smaller, and like you can't link things together, so the whole idea of spotting for a creature isn't going to be necessarily as the same, because from what I saw in that Twitch VOD, I rewatched it, and from what I saw with the aggro, it seems very small. This aggro circle is very small. Like, I've done very limited play on the test server, because generally when I get time to play Mighty Quest, I'm usually making videos for you guys, and since the test server's under NDA, I can't really do that. So I haven't really played all that much on the test server. But from what I remember and from what I've seen, is the aggro circle is a lot smaller than what it is currently, and it might even be the same, but it doesn't connect in the same way. You know, like if I aggro the middle guy, the front guy might not aggro, even though he's really close to the other one. It's based on like the vision and then where you place the aggro circle, and that aggro circle can't extend basically like it can in this system. So that's kind of where I'm at with it, is I think that creatures will be quite a bit worse, unless when they do go through their balance changes and they go through and balance the game, they buff creatures substantially. Because I feel like having overpowered things is fine now, because you have to beat your own castle. So, you know, regardless if I have to beat my own castle, that means that it's at least beatable with my gear. So it'll be more common to check someone's gear before you enter a castle, and it might even be wise for them to load up a screen before you go into a castle and allow you to inspect the person's gear that they used when they were validating it, because that's going to be a pretty big thing. You know, I'm a pretty good player, but without my gear, I'd do a lot worse than I am now. Like, even though a lot of my gear is still at level 24, it's because the gear at level 24 is really good, that I found. Which, that's another thing. I don't know, I'm going to go into how I feel about the progression and all of that in another video, probably once they release a little bit more information on open creation, whenever they like release the patch notes or something, probably after Tuesday. I will go into a little bit more detail on how I feel about the progression, wipe, and all of that. And also open creation, because I don't think there's enough to talk about just with open creation, so, or just with the wipe, I mean. I don't know if that made any sense. I'm trying to like do this and talk at the same time. I don't know, I haven't said much about the castle. So far it's not been a bad castle. I think maybe a few too many Mr. Boom Booms and Explodifiers. It almost feels like a castle that used to happen, that we used to see a lot back before these guys had to make eye contact, had to like get within line of sight to start throwing out their bomblets. They used to be able to do it at max range and like behind walls and stuff, and they were a lot stronger. And it feels a little bit like a castle from that day. And they've gotten quite a few nerfs. I don't think they're nearly as good anymore. I don't think like necessarily Explodifiers and Mr. Booms can be used in any situation like they used to be able to. It's kind of more specific situations. I do like the Stairmasters though. Even against archers, they're pretty difficult because they're so dangerous. They do so much damage now that if you miss just a couple of times, it gets really out of hand. So you have to pay a lot of attention to what you're doing. I almost got that. Ow. I'm gonna have to use a potion there. Those archers just owned my face. And the Cyclops. I mean, Cyclopses do quite a bit of damage now. I kind of like the idea of this, though. You stun me, and then you try to silence me. It's almost similar to what I was trying to do with the Zeke, except you used a dampener for the silence instead of a silence trap itself. Kind of, you get stunned, and then you want to roll away, but you're silent, so you can't, so you just try to walk a little bit, and then you get hit by the archer shots. Alright, and then we've got this last boss room here. I'll try to save my potion because Count Nottingham can do quite a bit of damage, especially if he's defended like this. I'm trying to make it right now so that, if you noticed, I was kind of trying to pull back outside of the range of the Puppeteer so that he wasn't able to enrage him, and I think I managed to do that. Basically kill the Puppeteer before he got off enrage. You can do that in boss rooms because there's so much room to kind of maneuver around. one thing that I would say is that the mine might hurt you just because it's a ranged creature, so I can kind of hide behind it a little bit. Nonetheless, I used all of my potions, so it's a pretty good castle. We'll jump into number 2 in just a second. Alright, next up we have Skittlz, castle levels of 17. Jump into it on my knight.
Get ready for a pain hammering.
But yeah, we're going to take a little break off of actually accepting requests for viewer castles. I'm going to have them pretty much still going every day until the wipe, and then after the wipe I actually just double pulled, but after the wipe I'll give it a couple days to a week to let people kind of get up and level a little bit, and then I'll start doing viewer castles again. I'll have a little bit more information after the wipe and maybe even after open beta, because I think I'm going to put a level limit on it, just because with so many new players coming in for open beta, I'm probably going to get so many requests that I won't be able to keep up at all, even if I do 2 a day like I was doing in the summer. But I think, at least maybe, probably after I record some of these, I have quite a few episodes to record before Tuesday. And I have to work 2 of those days. To work Sunday and Monday. That's a ton of resurrected skeletons. Where is this Dr. Skull? He's way back there. I'm probably gonna die here. I don't think I killed the Dr. Skull, I didn't. I like the Hunger Bot in all of this as well. The Archer isn't as important, but the Hunger Bot is like just destroying me. Well, I think I'll at least have to use a potion here. I'm gonna try not to though. Actually, I should be okay. Alright. The skeletons don't really gain as much strength until they get up higher level. Unfortunately, they seem to only do about 16 damage to me. That is also because I'm a knight. I have quite a bit of defense, and I was 3 levels over the skeletons. The Dr. Skull was only level 16 instead of 20, so. That's also another reason why I took so little. I actually think Defendatrons on these ones specifically aren't as good, because once they teleport, at least sometimes once they teleport, are they not even going to teleport actually? Hold on. This might be something that I wasn't aware of. I guess they don't teleport until they take damage. Okay, why am I... There we go. I was gonna say, why am I not using a potion? I guess they don't teleport until they take damage, so it's okay to have them on Defendatrons as well. I don't know. It's alright, but maybe having 4 of them is even better, just because they'll teleport away from danger at least once anyway. It depends, I guess. I would have to test it a little bit more to see which one does more sustained damage. Test it a couple of times. I'll probably be doing a lot of testing as soon as the patch comes out, or at least sometime on either Tuesday or Wednesday. I might even stream it, possibly. I'll definitely be uploading it to YouTube, at least some parts of it. But we'll see. I might do some streams or something when I'm leveling or whatever, just to let people get some live interaction with me as well. I'll probably put some more information out on YouTube if I'm gonna do that, or also Twitter. You guys can follow me. I don't even know what my Twitter is. I think it's just FrenzyGaming31 as well. I made a new one for my YouTube channel. You should be able to find it if you go to my YouTube channel on YouTube. That didn't make any sense. YouTube channel on YouTube. But yeah, up in the top, like the banner area, I think I set it up so that you can find it there. So if people want to follow me, I'm probably gonna release, you know, if I decide to just randomly stream when this comes out. So I'll have to be doing a lot of leveling and stuff like that. But I don't necessarily it's not amazing content for YouTube, but it's okay for streaming because I can just kind of respond to chat questions and stuff. Alright, that was an interesting one. You had like the the Zeke kind of right on the other side of this. I'm not really sure about that. I guess, I don't know, because I feel like even if I didn't have, what do you call it, Lashing Flames, if I just hug this wall, he probably has to come outside of this anyway. It's an interesting idea, though. It's actually something that I might be trying to build a room similar to this with open creation, but I have to see if a couple things work first. I have to see if it's even possible to pull through walls anymore. Like, even if you can get the circle on the other side of a wall, can you still pull through walls? It won't be nearly as strong as it used to be, but if it works, it'll still be kind of okay. I don't know, I think they're going to have to do a little bit of work on their aggro ranges. I think that'll just make creatures in general kind of weak. Because from the little bit of limited experience, I guess I shouldn't say much about the test server because, you know, a lot of things are going to be changed from when I played it. But from when I did play it, which was 2 or 3 renditions ago, like when the first test server rendition came out, I played it a little bit, and what I noticed is that traps were just a lot more overpowered than creatures. To the point where some people were putting in only 1 Snotter into their castle, because you had to have at least 1 creature, I believe. And they put 1 Snotter as the boss in the boss room, and then everything else was traps just trying to kill people. As well as also, something that I forgot is that creatures are going to take trap damage. That's a pretty big one as well. So it's almost like you don't want to put traps and creatures at the same area. It might cause people to really not want to use creatures at all. We'll have to see how it all works out. Alright, so we've got a Mittens here. This is actually a little scary, because he can deal so much damage so quickly. I need to wait until some of my cooldowns get up. I'm gonna let him get close to me. And then smite, and pull, attack, kick, heal, and then kind of repeat the process again, if I can. Alright, looks like that's not gonna work. Alright, there we go. Pretty good castle. I was a couple levels over it, it made me use 2 potions, so it was pretty good. I know I haven't been talking much about the defenses, I should go back to do that. I'll do that in like number 3. But since the game's changing so much, there's not really much that people have to do to change really their defenses up. I'm sure a lot of people aren't even really worrying about it until Tuesday, so either way, we'll jump into number 3 in just a second. Alright, for number 3 we have CJP, cast levels of 24. I personally don't like Pete Poundmores on charge only because they can get stun locked or miss so easily. Like, everybody can kind of get out of the way of a charge, and it's so many points to devote to that. I don't know. I guess it works the same way with any other Pete Poundmore attack. It's just if he does get close to you, he does so much more damage. It's not necessarily bad because charge does so much DPS now. It was before a mistake to use Pete Poundmore on charge when he didn't do damage, because if you just wanted the charge effect, you would use a Cyclops instead, but since he does damage, I guess it's not a big deal. Here, there's nothing really to stop me from just going after the Zeke like I did there. You know, you dodge his first shot, and then you just go straight after him, and he'll die pretty easily. That's why a lot of people use either something to disrupt the hero's movement, or a Defendatron on him, to make it so that you can't kill him as quickly. Because, you know, Zekes are pretty low life. Here you probably don't want your Zeke to come first. He comes way too out in front. I mean, it doesn't have to be like a huge difference between where the Zeke comes around the corner and the bad dog comes around the corner, but it needs to have enough space where I can't just kill both of them with like 1 shot. But generally, Zekes and archers are really bad when they're coming around corners because of that specific reason. You can get right up close to them and you can kill them so easily. Their strength really comes from their range. If you do have them come around a corner, it's usually better to have a Defendatron on them, because they're going to take so much extra damage. Alright, we've got Cyclops, looks like maybe a Jimbo or a Smelly Warrior or something. It all comes around the corner at like the exact same time, which sometimes isn't bad, but in this case where it's all trash mobs like this, if I was your level, I think the only thing that would survive is the Cyclops and maybe the Dampener. Everything else would die. But since I'm over your level, everything dies anyway. This one isn't as bad. I think I did have to step onto the trap momentarily to shoot and aggro it, and then step back. So it does make me take a little extra trap damage. You could try moving it back slightly, and I don't know if you have any extra points or something. Maybe even like replacing the dampener with a bone puppeteer or something would help you get 1 extra point so that you could put some sort of a spotter out in front instead, so that you can't really see exactly what's coming. It might still be able to be revealed. Also, something I actually forgot about this room specifically is I could have actually just stood right here and dropped a volley over here, because this wall doesn't really react properly. Like, even though I'm looking through a wall, I can volley all the way up into here. That's just a problem with this room. I might still have one of those rooms in my castle, but I'm not nearly as happy with it as I was back when like camera rotation wasn't a thing and stuff. This is a very big room. Haven't seen this in a very long time. Really good for archers though. As you can see, this is probably what I would do most of the time against this, because archers being all spread out like that, it just takes so much longer. There's no reason for me to not just backpedal. I could also use these mines as well. Like I've said before, with mines and archers, you don't want to have mines because this creates a wall where they have to walk up right next to me instead of just firing at me. So, wherever you have ranged units, you don't really want to have archers. Alright, that was a pretty standard group with the Defendatron and everything. Dampener there was annoying. That was an interesting group because I got silenced right as I wanted to volley them. Basically, to fight vamps, not maps. Fight vamps, ideally, you want to aggro them, and then you want like to wait for them to kind of charge towards you, and then volley on yourself, and then they'll die. But when I aggroed it, by the time I wanted to volley on myself, I was silenced, so it's kind of an interesting idea. Alright. Pretty good castle. I was just very over-leveled, so it looked easier to me than it actually was. But yeah, that is number 3, so I'll end the video. As always, if you guys enjoyed what I do, please subscribe. We're not going to be taking any more requests for viewer castles until a later date, probably close to when open beta gets released. Maybe a little bit before that, but since the wipe is coming so quickly, I'm just going to try to finish up the list that I have, which will be, you know, 8 or so more videos. I'll probably do 2 a day until Tuesday, and then that will make 8. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time.